So you got married when? Exactly?
Exactly on 25th March. So my function started from 22nd March to 20, and the wedding was on 25th March.
25th March. Okay.
Yeah.
Manpreet, okay. So I'm just recording this interview. Okay. I'll also have to take a consent from you that because I'll be just putting it online. Okay. I hope you
Sure.
don't, though nobody can see it or so. I keep it in my YouTube channel or and you can only get an access if I just allow you. So it's nothing like that. And this is just as in for our study purpose only. Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so the whole purpose is I'm just trying to explain to you, just understanding the common behaviors and experiences while inviting guests to the wedding. That is the thing I'm just trying to study. Okay. And it is to learn to understand the user experience about wedding invitation and challenges that people face. And what are the difficulties that you have faced when you have to send the invitation or so. So those are the insights that I'm just trying to gain the insights from you. Start with,
Sure.
I'll just request you, if you could just tell a little bit about yourself and what are you presently doing, and then we can get started.
Sure. So I'll start with my name. I'm Manpreet Sandhu. I got married on 25th March 2022. I'm currently part-time employed as I'm a freelancer, so I work project-based. I live in Vancouver, Canada, and basically I'm from Ahmedabad, Gujarat.
Oh, nearby. I'm pretty much nearby to you where I am right now presently. I'm in Pune. Anyways,
Oh, wow. Nice.
I'm from Delhi, but I'm presently in Pune, working in Pune for Swiss Bank.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep. Okay. So let's get started. So I just want to understand when you talk about wedding, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Okay. What is the most important thing out over there in the wedding?
So I think, according to me, the most important thing as a girl was to finalize my makeup artist and to finalize a good photographer. So years before I even thought of getting married, I had this particular photographer in mind that no matter what, wherever I do budget cuts, I'm not going to do budget cuts in the photographer part. And the first thing when my date got finalized was that I called the photographer and told him if you have the available dates. And that was the first thing I did. I finalized my photographer, then I finalized my makeup artist, and then I finalized my mehndi artist.
Okay.
That's the most that I could do sitting here in Canada. And after that, I went India and did the rest of the preparations from there itself. I was in India for 4 months. So I had like a
and
ton
rest of
of
the dates and finalizing the destination and all was all your parents' thing, to be taken care of.
Yeah, I mean, the destination was pretty much final because my husband, they are from Punjab, they live in Punjab.
Okay.
And initially we did think of, getting everybody from Punjab to Ahmedabad, but then either one had to compromise. And his mother was like, you know what, let's do it in Punjab. I want to do one wedding from our house as well, because his sister's wedding we couldn't do. They couldn't attend even because we did it here. Both of us did it here in Canada during COVID, in like super COVID times. So there were only 50 people here on the wedding. So that was the reason that her mother wanted the wedding to be done from their home itself. And for us, then we were like 70, 80 people living in a hotel for like a week and doing the entire wedding from there.
It's not easy. It's not as convenient as like a home, I'm sure, even if you stay in a
Yeah.
so though they
yeah, exactly. The only good part about my wedding was that even if I missed something, it was convenient for me to get it because I was in Punjab and it was a Sikh wedding.
Yeah.
But if I would have forgotten one of my outfits in Ahmedabad, then it would have been a big hassle.
Okay. Yep. Oh, yep.
Yeah.
So what was the first thing that you came to your mind when you thought about inviting the guests? On how, how did you communicate the guests about your marriage?
So the first thing that I did was the ones who had to come from Canada. We just had to inform them with the dates initially. We just told them that these are the dates that has been finalized. The formal invitation will follow.
Okay.
Um,
And how did you
and
inform
then that's
them? You just called up?
via yeah, we just called, we messaged some whomsoever we could meet. We met them. We went to their home, we met them, and then the rest was WhatsApp and stuff. But when we went India, we did print a limited amount of wedding cards, only for the
Okay.
ones who you had to formally invite.
Okay.
But the and some for like really close family members. But if someone was like just a friend or somebody like that, I'd just send them e-invitations.
Okay. So it was a
Yeah.
combination of both e-invite and
Yeah.
the print, the physical.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but my mother did, even though we did post some cards as well
Yeah.
to our relatives living in Bombay and stuff. We had to post some cards as well, and then my mother called them as well as a gesture.
I see this. I will share with you the experience also, what others have been doing. Definitely, I'll tell you. But yes, that
Mhm.
is happening around nowadays. So, how important was the marriage invitation in comparison to the other marriage functions? As you were telling me about the photographer or so, when did that
Yeah.
in marriage invite finally?
Marriage invites. I had so much to finalize that I completely forgot about. Ironically, marriage invitations. I had to do so much back and forth with the marriage invitation guy because he would design it completely different than what I would have expected. So my father reminded me that, you know what, we have to do the invitations as well. And we actually went to Punjab in January, and that's where he wanted the invitations to be printed. We could have done from Gujarat as well, it would have been easier, but I
Yeah,
don't know why we thought of doing them from Punjab. And then he parceled us all those
yeah.
invitations from Punjab to Gujarat.
My
So,
God.
and then there was a lot of collateral damage because of that, because when they were parceled to us, some
Yeah.
of them got smudged and the covers got damaged.
Oh God. Oh well.
So I had to fight with him
I
and
think
ask
so
him
you
to
should have
send
got
me
it done
more.
from Gujarat itself only. My God,
Yeah,
is to get everything done. Such a creative place. My God. Oh man.
my father really wanted something big in terms of invitation. He wanted like a box invitation with all the
Hmm.
dry fruits in it and all stuff like that.
Oh
I'm like, everybody's gonna throw that. That's such a waste. If you want to
yeah.
do some, we had really limited amount of invitations. I think we only printed like 100 or 120 or so, but we invited more guests than that. So I did not give any like hard invitation to any of my friends. All of them came by the e-invite
E-invite.
cards.
Yeah. Did you send some goodies also while you were sending the e-invite to them? No, only to the people who was you were sending the physical invite.
Yeah, we did take like a sweet box on the side
Yeah.
for the close family members and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You personally had a feeling it's a waste of money, like because they're gonna throw that box or so.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the box get until and unless it's something else. If the invitation consists of, nowadays I have seen people giving away like Bhagwan ki murti and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that can still be useful, but the cardboard is a complete waste.
I yes. Yes. So how do you go about shortlisting your invitation? Did you take someone helps? Your parents, of course, you were telling me your dad was helping you out and all. So who
Yeah.
did you finally involve into it? Your parents? Did you also involve your partner?
So his invitations were completely different. Actually, they got the box invitations that I was talking about.
Okay.
They had like laddus in the box, and then they had the invitation on the top, and it was like a big square box.
Oh, okay.
Almost like it almost had the height of like 3-4 centimeter. And
Mm-hmm.
then for my side, it was a very plain wedding card. I can send you a picture if you
Sure,
want it.
sure. You can. Yeah, yeah,
And I found some designs on Pinterest.
yeah. Hmm.
And then I shared that with the guy who was designing the cards. And initially, it was a big disaster because I gave him something else and he made completely worse. So I had to talk to him at least. There were almost 10 iterations in my wedding card.
Oh my gosh. Okay. You had invited a designer. Basically, he was supposed to do as per whatever your requirement was, and then you were getting it iterated one by one, and he wasn't able to.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, they did the graphic designing, and then they would send me the prototype, and then I would see it. There were a lot of spelling mistakes as well.
Oh my
So we
gosh.
had to get them corrected as well. Every time they would send me a prototype, there would have been a spelling mistake, and then that it delayed the printing of the card.
Was he a professional designer, card designer, or just like you hired some designer and he was just trying to making so many mistakes?
So he was actually a very famous wedding card like printer kind of thing.
Oh.
But I think they hire young graphic designers as well, because
Mhm.
you definitely have to add the names and the destination and all of that, right,
Yeah,
on your
yeah.
wedding cards. So
Uh-huh.
usually people, I think in Punjab, it's not that big of a trend of wedding invitations as I mean, a normal person wouldn't pay so much money for the wedding invitation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I expected was a lot than what he could do. That's what I think. But
Yeah.
he was like 70%, not even 70, like 65-ish% close to what I asked him to do.
Okay. So that was the biggest challenge that you were facing around getting it iterated again and again, and you were not happy with
Yes.
particular design.
Yes.
You asked him. Okay.
Yeah.
And how about the other design, the e-invite? You went on to some website and you had sent it. How did you go about that?
So there were no separate invites for that. I actually just used the e-copy that they sent me. So when
Hmm.
the final prototype came, I just used it as e-invite.
Okay, so it's the same thing. Whatever the prototype was, you had made it into a e-invite and sent it to all your friends. And how did you send it? Like WhatsApp or so?
Yeah, WhatsApp.
Okay, you had WhatsApp then. So it was kind of okay. I mean, on the same lines, whatever the print was, you had same away. It sent the same thing out over there also. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think there is one more. If you want to make like small, like if you just want to send e-invites, there's also a website called Bed Me Good. It's
Yeah.
pretty big in the wedding industry. They have some templates as well. So I remember for one of my functions that we did in Ahmedabad, I did create my own card from there. It was just an e-invite that we send it to everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's a
That was
great way.
actually that was very convenient, and they had really good designs. And you
Mm-hmm.
could edit them on the app itself and just download it.
I shouldn't be sharing my feeling, but what's your take on that? Let me understand. While I was doing some research around those. If you're trying to send the print invite, it is not on the same lines as you send the e-invite. That's the one problem.
Mhm.
Well, that is totally different, and those are on different lines. How do you send them as a consistent? Do you feel this was there, or it's only me that I feel?
Sorry, I didn't understand you.
I mean, if you see a print invite, will be a totally a different design. And if you're sending an e-invite, that's again a totally different design. I haven't seen on any website yet where they have the consistency of both the design out over there. The print
Yes.
e-invite.
Yeah, I think sometimes it does get very, as I said that, what I saw on Pinterest
Hmm.
and what that graphic designer made,
Yeah.
there was like a vast difference
Hmm.
between those
Yes.
two things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And actually the design that I sent the graphic designer was from a real invite.
Okay.
Like somebody had posted their personal invitation on Pinterest, and then I used that as a reference to give
Okay.
it to the graphic designer. But this couldn't replicate it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure it depends upon designer to designer.
Yeah, it depends on how good of a graphic designer you are, definitely.
Yeah. So, So how did you plan your guests? Like, did you plan many guests, and did you segregate them? Like, so these are friends. I'm going to be calling them in all the function of the marriage, and there were some limited functions you're going to call rest of your friends or so. Were you segregating those?
So my side of the family, we were very limited people because it was a destination wedding and I didn't want a lot of extra crowd. And also because it wasn't happening in Ahmedabad itself. So there was very less of the local crowd per se.
Yeah, yeah,
So I think the close family members were there from my mother's side, my father's side, who were attending each and every function. Then
yeah,
there were my friends, very close friends, who were attending each and every person. And then there were our relatives from Punjab, who
yeah.
were invited only on the selective functions.
So you had that list, Excel sheet or whatever somewhere. You must have done that. No, you must have put down the names
Yeah,
of the people whom you're going to be inviting,
yeah.
all the functions and limited people for the other function or so.
Yeah. So there were some people who only attended the Sangeet. We only
Uh,
invited them on the Sangeet. There were some people who we invited on Mehndi. Because there was also a Shagun ceremony that happens from
uh,
the boys' side.
yeah,
On that function, it was only the family members and my very close friends.
yeah.
Nobody else.
Okay. And oh, fine, fine. So, and if you were calling somebody like on a Sangeet or so, were you still sending them the print invite and were you still sending them the goodies along with it? Or
Um, so for the print, like the hard copy invite, we had like cards in the invite. So what we would just do is we would only put one card in the invite and give it to them.
okay, oh,
And we would just take out the Mehndi card and the actual wedding card and the Shagun card.
okay, okay. So you got a bunch of stuff made, and then later on you were just putting it down, whichever as per the user, whosoever the guest you wanted, you were sending that particular invite. That's what.
Yes. And if I wanted someone to only attend, if I were to send an e-invite, I would only select like if let's say I'm inviting you for two of my functions, I would just send you those two cards and
Yeah.
the main like the uh, envelope prototype and the two of the functions prototype and just send it to you like that.
Okay. Yeah. So I think what I can just make out, it does take a lot of time in finalizing the people and the invite that they want you want to send to it. You got to check with everybody whom all you want to invite, then putting it down. So it does take that.
Yeah, it does take a lot of time. So let's actually it happened this way. I wanted to visit India because I hadn't been there in like 2 years, and my father was like, "You are coming here for that long. Do you want to get married now that you are settled and all of that?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, it works for me." And then we talked it
Yeah.
out, and it was very casual because both our parents knew that we were dating already, and
Yeah.
they were just waiting for us to get our permanent residency, and then we would get married. So after that, when we decided on what date it should be, then the dates got finalized. I think it took almost more than 2 weeks to finalize the dates.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Because we had to we had to fulfill everyone and we had to account for everyone, and we wanted to maximize all of our cousins and all of our relatives on the wedding because everyone was coming India for the first time after COVID, after 2 years. So we
Yep. Yep.
wanted the most of it. So that's the reason
Yes.
that we were asking everybody, oh, are you available on this date? Oh, no, you are not. Okay. Are you available on this date? Oh, okay, okay.
Oh my
This will
God.
work for you, but this. So yeah, there was a lot of back and forth that way.
So it's kind of a destination wedding for you. So was there anything
Yeah.
so that you did to your invite also to make it look unique, or you were initially only you were working focusing a lot onto that, so you can have it
Um, I think
unique could be also you can say personalize it. You thought of anything, you wanted anything like that, or it was just the what was that special thing? I'm just trying to understand that you did onto it that you wanted.
the special thing was that the invitation and my wedding outfits color were the same. I kept those same
Okay.
because I thought that that is one of the biggest thing that is going to happen, and I want everybody to know that this is the theme of the wedding. Basically, we are all going to be, and I was wearing like Rani color, dark pink,
Okay.
and the rest of the family members were in lighter shades of pink, so baby pink. And the wedding card was in the same shade as my lehenga.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there was like the RSVP from my brothers and stuff like that.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen or received any marriage card that you felt was really nice or was different with any latest trend that you must have seen recently?
So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. One of my friends, they are actually quite wealthy. And they gave us a card. It was in a shape of a mandir.
Hmm.
And when you would open it, it had like two layers to it inside. So on the
Yeah.
first floor there was a murti and a small bell, and then in
Yes.
the bottom there were the cards, and under the cards there were some dry fruits.
Oh, wow. Super.
Yeah, and then they printed 500 of those.
Oh
So
my
just
God.
imagine.
Do you still have
Yeah.
it, that particular card?
No, no, no. I think we got rid of it long time, because this was like 4 to 5 years ago.
Wow, man. How much expenditure they would have spent on that particular card?
Yeah, but they are like builders, so they had to do the black money to white. So they did the
Ah,
most that they could on. They spent the most that they could on the wedding.
okay, okay, okay. Super. So did you also thought of doing something like that from that particular concept?
Oh no, 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 no. I thought it is such a waste of money. I would rather use it in some other way. I'd rather get myself better jewelry, because that is something that would stay with me. A card is something, even though it was such a beautiful card that I received 5 years ago from them,
Yeah,
but it has no use in a home. It's only clutter that is being gathered. And in India, you receive so many wedding cards during the wedding
true.
season that you can't collect every one of them.
Very true. Very true. So, what do you do with these cards finally? As you said, like once you received a card from your family or friends, how do you remember these? This was also a physical thing, right? That you had received. How do you remember the dates when you have to go for the marriage?
Yeah, that is actually one big of a hassle. If it's a close wedding from somebody you are very close to, you definitely remember all the dates. But if it's somebody, you have to keep the card to a place where you can see and not lose it.
Yeah,
So basically, it doesn't go in a junk drawer. It basically goes in your bedroom drawer or something like that, where you can reach it, or maybe in your living room, so that you'll remember that there's a wedding that you have to attend on a particular date.
yeah. Yeah, because it's very difficult. Even if you remember the date, also, no, and if you misplace the card, then also it's very tough because you need to know the destination where you're going. You also need to check the time, also where it is going,
Yeah.
location onto it. So I'm sure you cannot miss that particular card. It has to be there around you somewhere.
It and because of this reason, I forgot to mention, I actually send the e-invitations to everybody,
Yes.
because there's a high possibility that some or the other person would lose the card.
Yeah. If I have to compare you, now you're coming to the point, you're talking a lot. Uh, how would that, if you have to compare the goods and the positives about both the side, how will you compare the e-invite and the physical invite? What do you think?
I think physical invite is a very personal and very close gesture that you do. E-invite is something that you do, like, okay, there's this wedding, I'm getting married. Do you want to come? I've sent you the card. Unless you make an extra phone call to talk to that person,
Yeah.
e-invite is just plain like, okay, you are invited to. But
Okay.
a physical card is something. It's a actual. It's a gesture. It takes effort to go to that person's house, to give them the card and to tell them, please do come to our wedding. It is. It. I think it takes more effort to print a card, to put money in it, and then to give it to somebody. E-invite is something that you're like, yeah, you are invited to. Please do come.
Okay. But do you think it makes it easier to remember the dates and stuff with it?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
does make it. You can just go like, oh, you can't find the card. You know what? I think she sent me a e-copy too. Let me check it on WhatsApp.
Yes. You can even connect it through that. No, it gets easier to get through your Google Map or so if you send the location and that, which you can do it easy
Yeah,
there. Yeah. It might not be
yeah.
that easy over there in the physical card. That is there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now that the phones can read text from the images, you just have to copy the text and paste it in Google Maps.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And how tough it is to discard a marriage invite when you get a from a friend or so, from a family member.
I think it's rare. I think the wedding cards rarely have any kind of plastic, but if there's plastic, it's pretty hard to. I mean, in India, it's pretty hard to recycle plastic,
Yes.
like garbage plastic, which
Hmm.
has no use, which cannot be recycled in our house.
Yeah.
But if it's cardboard, I think when you do bonfires in winters, you can definitely use cardboard and you can burn the cardboard as well. And that's useful. And then I think one thing that my mother does is that when she has a lot of invitation cards gathered,
Mhm.
the security guards in winters, they sit outside and they have to have constant fire near them. She just gives
Yep.
it to them so that they can use it in the fire, basically.
Okay. Yep. 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 See, but what happens is discard them. I'm saying in a sense, like sometimes what happens in our Hindu marriages and stuff, they do have that lot of goddesses, photographs and all. Sometimes you know it gets very tough. Like how do we?
How to discard something that
Yeah,
has God on it. That's
yeah,
true. But
yeah.
I think that when it's better than throwing into garbage with other stuff.
Yes,
If
yes,
you
yes.
if you burn it, because Agni is something that is related to Hindu culture and every
Hmm.
Indian
Yeah.
culture
Hmm.
basically. When you die with fire. So I think if you are burning it, it's still less disrespectful than just throwing into a garbage can.
Totally, totally. Yeah. Uh, Now, what did you do with your marriage card? Do you still have it with you?
I kept one of them. Yes, I did keep one of them. We were short of marriage cards, but I made sure that I have one.
So what do you do with it? Do you see it sometimes? What do you want to do? How do you?
So the one that I kept for keepsakes, it's still in my house in Ahmedabad. I didn't
Yeah.
bring it with me here. I do have the e-invite with me.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, that's
okay.
just there. Whenever I visit my parents, it's just in my room. I can go and see it. It would be with my other stuff.
Okay. If you had the physical invite next to you, would you like to keep it somewhere, store it that you can see it, reminds you about those lovely memories or so, something?
Definitely, I think if I would have put, a lot of effort in my card, if my card was very extravagant, why not show off it? I mean, definitely I would put it in my living room and decorate it. But I think my card was pretty simple um, to frame it, but still I think the main envelope of the card was pretty nice because it had like a veil going through both of our names. So it said Manpreet and Jastinder, and then it had a golden veil going around the name.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
think if I
Wow.
have to frame it, I can frame the envelope of the card for sure, or maybe the card that had the wedding details on, because it
Mhm.
was very pretty. I'll definitely share the e-copy with
Sure, sure, sure. But this is mostly I'm done with that, but I just want to understand one thing. Now your marriage is done. One thing you want to change now, if you had a magic stick and you want to change, which could make it easier or something, what would that be when it comes to this invite?